the EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found. And always at the eppodcast.com.
Excellent job. The Chicago Stockyard Kilty Band is here. I got Luke sitting here with me. Are you the leader, or are you the leader just tonight?
I guess I would be number 3 in the band.
You're the first guy that got to the bar.
I'm the first guy that got to the bar, and I'm in charge tonight.
You're in charge tonight. Tonight and tonight only. And introduce me to the rest of your group that you've got here tonight.
This is Jim Butler. Okay. To my right, your left, Piper. Dan O'Brien.
Dan didn't wear his uniform tonight.
Dan
What's your problem, Dan?
He came right from work.
You're not in the mood for the holiday yet?
No, I'm kind of sick of it already. I'm just kidding.
That's Mark McKibben and his beard.
Is that beard year-round, or is that just you just grow this out for the holiday?
This is a 6-month-old beard.
6-month beard. So you start at a certain point, you grow that out, you shave it in the summer?
I'm going to shave it after Sunday, after St. Patty's Day.
And who's this young lady over here next to you? She's not going to get near a microphone.
This is my wife, Marianne.
Your wife, Marianne. Okay, Marianne. So Marianne plays the drums. You play the bagpipes. Is that why you guys got married? Like you were like, we can do this on our own? You play the drums, I'll play the bagpipes. It's a match made in heaven. Like, how did that end up working out?
No, he played the bagpipes when we got married. I can't read music, so I started playing the drums.
Oh, so he was a musician. You weren't even a musician.
No,
you got married. And he's like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
So you have to. You were like, I'm going to be with you at these things.
Yeah, and actually, both of our daughters are in the band as well.
Right.
Both of our daughters are drummers.
So this started out to keep him away from all of the bagpipe groupies. There's a large amount of bagpipe groupies, and you were like, if I'm not in the band,
if you can't
Lord
beat
knows.
them, join them. Might as well play and not be a groupie.
I love it. All right, so the busy season is all of March. Is it like 2 weeks? Like, when are you guys normally just going?
Pretty much the whole month.
The whole month of March.
Yeah, there's parades all month long.
So even after St. Patrick's Day, there's still stuff that you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah,
is it like...
There's St. Baldrick's. We play a lot of St. Baldrick's, too.
Okay. So how many guys total? Because I know this isn't the whole group.
Wait, 50?
Probably between 50 and 60 if everyone shows in dresses.
How loud are the
we
practices?
all get together, which is rare.
Right.
60-ish.
So how do you end up playing the bagpipes? Like, I always sit there, like, when I'm like I can get the drums. Like drums, you were like in high school, you're probably in the band, or like your husband was in a bagpipe band. You're like, I gotta learn how to play the drums. It's one or the other.
I was actually in this band before I was in high school.
Okay.
But I got recruited into it by my next door neighbor.
So this is kind of like a family affair. Like somebody's like, this is going on. You want to join? You recruit kids when they're younger.
In my case, in my brother's case, my dad played. He started playing about 1950.
Okay.
So there's no choice in our family.
So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like it's a family thing.
Yeah.
You're in it, and then all of a sudden, like next thing you know, your kids are inside of it.
Yeah. And then
wow.
Now the grandkids are learning too. Wow. I already have a niece in the band, and my kids are learning. And
so you're not taught by an instructor; you're taught by parents when you're doing this.
Well, we instruct every Tuesday. We have lessons.
Okay, but you guys give lessons to each other. Like the older people give lessons to the younger people, or is
we give lessons to newcomers.
Okay, you give lessons to newcomers.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you were like the bagpipe thing was just basically like, son, I have bagpipes, and I'm going to show you how to do this one day, and you were like there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I really think that's kind of cool. Like like I played saxophone, but my daughter, she only picked it up because she wanted to impress her father. But I was just in the marching band, and then I stopped doing it. To you guys, this is like a lifestyle that's passed down from generation to generation.
And also, the difference is when you learn bagpipes, for most people, you keep doing it your whole life.
Okay.
A lot of people learn how to play trumpet or whatever, and
they stop doing it.
Yeah, they stop doing it.
This is something that you do all the time. Is there any written music, or is this something that's passed down where they're kind of just showing you like how to play it, and you're just picking it up as you go?
Yeah, there's written music.
There's written music.
Yeah.
So when you're teaching the kids how to play these songs, they have original written music that they sit there and they practice with before they go any further. That's really cool. I really enjoy it.
Dave McKee Sr., like you said, starting in the 50s, his dad had to teach hundreds of people, and his dad was taught by, Robert Sims? So his dad was taught by a guy that goes back in the band to the 20s. But, his dad, Dave Sr., man, I wonder how many people he's taught. I mean, it's got to be hundreds.
Really?
And then he taught his boys, and then, now it just keeps going on and on for generations, really.
Do you have an event that you look forward to each and every year that you guys take part in, or a parade or something like that to show like this is the thing that you enjoy, or does this feel like a job to you?
Well, the older you get, the harder it is.
Huh?
No, it's not a job. I never looked at it as a job.
Okay.
But
I mean, some of you guys are like already like, I'm already tired.
St. Patrick's is busy.
Yeah, St. Patrick's
is
busy. Okay. But I mean, like, is there an event around St. Patrick's Day or something like that you're like, this is the thing?
The Southside Parade.
The Southside Parade?
Yeah.
That's always like a lot of fun.
It's the highlight of the whole
We're
month.
number one in the parade.
Yeah.
You kick off the parade? I've got the band that kicks off the parade
every year
on my show, on my piddly little podcast.
Number one.
We were the first band to play in the parade when they used to push the baby buggies around.
Okay.
We were the first band to play, and so ever since then, with a few exceptions, we've been the first band in the parade.
I am talking with the Chicago Stockyard Kilty Band. They are going to be on in just a few moments here. We'll record with them again. First, I'm going to give them a chance to drink some beer. I intend to buy them a round or two tonight on me for coming out here. I really appreciate it. And we are live over at Porter Cullens, and we are hanging out tonight, kicking off St. Patrick's Day weekend. This episode airing on Parade Day. It was my intent to get this thing out so that people could listen to it during the parade. So there might be somebody listening to this podcast this morning on a Sunday morning before they go and see you. So you step this thing off, right?
Yes.
That is absolutely awesome. So if you're going to the parade, you're listening to this when it first hits your iPod or your Android or whatever you listen to, and you get it on the early release day, because we normally release on Mondays. We're releasing on Sunday morning just for the parade this week. If you're listening, look for these guys in the front. Get out there. So do you control the pace of the parade?
Yeah, I guess you can look at
step
that way.
it up, because it takes a while.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm walking in number 72 this year, okay?
You gotta savor it.
Let's move it along, okay?
We have an adoring throng of fans that love us.
I got parties to get to. Forget your fans.
Yeah, we do too.
It is now time for your EP podcast, Word on the Street. Here's what's going on in Evergreen Park. Ice rink season is ending. They are just as much done with winter as you are. So currently they've been doing open skate Tuesday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and hockey on 7 to 9 p.m. And then Monday is only hockey from 7 to 9. So if you want to go skating, get it in there now. The Evergreen Park Recreation Department Candlelight Theater is going to be holding open auditions for its upcoming musical, The Lullaby of Broadway. It is a music-filled showcase of the history of Broadway. Auditions are open for kids as young as 10 and over, and also to adults. There was already an audition on Friday, March 15th. There is still one Monday, March 18th. 7 p.m. Senior Center, 9547 South Holman Avenue. The performance is June 7th through June 9th. I have Tim O'Connell here. He walked up to Porter Cullens. He wanted to promote something. I said, what the heck? I got microphones. You're from Evergreen Park. I'm from Evergreen Park. Go for it, Tim.
Hi, I'm here promoting the Most Holy Redeemer Raider raffle. We have 3 more drawings still coming up. Friday, March 22nd, $3,500. April 26th, $4,000, and May 24th, $5,000. We need everyone in the parish to come out and support the school.
How do people get the tickets? They just go certain a place or what?
We're selling them at church after masses this week, and then pretty much every week before the drawing, we sell them at church. All members of the parish got 5 sent out to them,
right?
Mail. So
now, what if you're not part of the parish and you're somebody in Evergreen Park who's like, I want to get me some money. I'm a gambler.
They should
They
be able
still
to
want to win. No,
yeah,
they still want to win
go
money.
to the rectory.
I appreciate it, Tim. Thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
very
out
much.
here. And that is what is going on in the EP this week. From the EP Podcast, found everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at theeppodcast.com. Looking for something fun and unique in Evergreen Park? You should try Unidad, a Latin kitchen and bar. Unidad brings together family homemade recipes and craft cocktails to create a one-of-a-kind eating experience. Plus, every Friday, enjoy happy hour specials from 3:30 to 6 p.m. And Unidad is currently open for dinner on Sundays with half-price bottles of wine for a limited time. Unidad, a Latin kitchen and bar located at 3339 West 95th Street in the heart of Evergreen Park. Learn more at unidadrestaurant.com. For the rest of March, Unidad is offering special corned beef tacos, plus a selection of Irish whiskeys and beers. Celebrate in a unique way this month at Unidad in Evergreen Park. Stockyard Kilty Guys. I don't know. Stockyard Kilty Guys and It's such a long name. Do you have like a nickname? Or do I just call you the Kilty Band? Like, what can I do? I gotta do the whole thing every time?
Usually we prefer that.
You prefer the whole thing? You like your whole name? You want to be called by your full name like your mother's yelling at you is what you're telling me. Right. All right. The Chicago Stockyard Kilty Band. I just got to show off the broadcasting chops here. How hard... First of all, do any of you play any other kind of instrument besides the bagpipe? I'm not going to ask the drummers because drumming's easy, but...
I got to get going. I'll see you guys later. You'll take over the drumming, right?
We can all drum. So
just pull a random dude out of the audience.
I played saxophone. I like to make fun of drummers. How difficult is the bagpipe to learn? How hard is that to figure out?
Yeah.
Okay, is it something that
you have to devote your entire life to it?
Can anybody do this? Is this? I mean, do you have to know somebody, or do you guys actually recruit? I mean, is there a way for somebody if somebody's got a kid who's younger, or even if how can you be 25, 30, 40 years old and want to do this? Is this something that you have to start young, or can anybody?
It's preferable you start young, like any instrument,
Okay.
Because when you're young, it's easier to learn an instrument.
Right. When you get older, you play the drums.
It gets right. Yeah.
I should mention, in terms of drums, you do lock in muscle memory, it does help starting.
And she learned them after she got married, just to keep all the groupies away from her husband. With his big flowing beard that he's got that waves in the wind. I understand. I totally get it. Okay, so but I mean, if somebody wanted to join, how would they join? Is there a way to join the Stockyard Kilty Band?
Yeah, we give lessons every Tuesday night. Our website is sykb.com. Or Facebook. We're on Facebook, too. Are we on Twitter?
SYKP.com. I looked for you on Twitter, but I couldn't find it right away. So.
We're on Twitter, right?
Are you?
Instagram?
You're on Instagram?
We're on Instagram.
All the kids are on Instagram. You got to be on the Instagram. My daughter told me, she's like, you got to be on the Instagram, Dad. I'm like, why? I'm going to take selfies in the mirror of myself? The only time I'm in the bathroom, you don't want to see a selfie of me.
I do.
this week, not only are we in Porter Cullens, but we're also still doing our segment, Meet the Neighbors. And I figured if we're going to do Meet the Neighbors this week, we're going to actually find the neighbors of Porter Cullens. So I have Murray's Browse and Brews and Joni Murray sitting here with me. This has not been around for very long. I still remember when there was nothing there. How long, first of all, have you been there? And tell me a little bit about Browse and Brews, because I got to be honest with you. When my daughter said there's a place opening up next to Porter Cullens called Browse and Brews, I thought she said Bras and Brews. And I thought it was going to be the greatest bar that I've ever been in my entire life.
Well, it is a bar, but it's a coffee bar, not a beer bar,
not
a drinking
beer bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yes, we're going to be open. It's going to be 2 years in June, and we just found the spot right here was available for rent, and I actually did window treatments and design, and I was taking it out of my house and gonna put it in a shop and have a shop that people can come into and purchase things and buy things and redo their homes at like kind of a discounted price and blah blah blah, and then it just kind of all evolved. And I
so
got
all of
a
a sudden
friend
you're
of
like,
mine.
and I'm going to serve coffee.
Well, and then I was like, well, but it's also a perfect spot for a coffee shop.
Okay.
Because there's so many people that walk, like 99th Street is their like route. People walk down 99 to Pulaski to Kedzie to Western to, and it's just right in the middle of a neighborhood. So it's a great place to get to.
I think
and
this is
people can
becoming a
walk.
really trendy block.
It really
Like
is.
this whole block reminds me like when I was younger and I go visit my cool friends that had an apartment on the north side. Like that's what this block is.
Right.
Like you got the
Yeah.
little trendy like little shops and you got the corner pub where Porter Cullens is, and it's just kind of like, and there's houses all around it. It's
Right.
crazy. You got a college campus nearby, but the college kids don't come over too much, so they're not in your way. That's what I like the most about it. Okay.
We do get a lot of college, so we're trying to get more and more.
You
come
probably
in. We do,
college kids
yes.
like to drink coffee.
Oh yeah.
They got to
yeah.
stay awake.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Study.
Right,
We
they
don't
gotta
have
study.
our shop is small, so we can't house a lot, but we do have a backyard cafe.
Okay.
Which has really
So you have an
opened
outdoor
up a
section
lot.
in the back?
We have an outdoor cafe
So
in the
you can
backyard.
actually, so you can't even tell that from the street.
No, you can't.
Okay, so when you go there, first of all, there's a shop in the front, and you're
Right.
selling what, like sweets, and are there also like crafts? am I guessing?
Coffees. We're selling coffees, teas, smoothies. We sell acai bowls, and then we have baked goods from Mima's.
Yes, you brought. We're gonna get to them. You brought some of your vendors that are actually in the store.
So I
told you,
also-
hey, stop by, and you're like, oh, I'm bringing everybody.
Yep. I
Get on the
mentioned
EP
it,
podcast.
and they all wanted to be on EP podcast. So when I started, then I had a girlfriend that does paints, and she kind of came to me with the consignment idea. So she's like, I need somewhere for my paints to go, and sell my paints. I can rent some space from you in your shop if we could. I'm like, oh, that would be great. So that kind of evolved. And then when I opened, I had a couple of vendors doing home decor type things. And then once the coffee took off, I was not a design place anymore. I was a coffee shop with design kind of in the back corner. And then these guys came in. Joanne came in. Joanne Riley's another vendor that does cookies. She
Okay.
makes awesome
I
chocolate
got
chip
your cookies, Joanne. I gave up sweets for Lent, but my job literally dictates I have to eat your cookies, so
You
I'm going to
do.
get it out now so I can chew on it before I talk to you. Okay.
You got it.
Yes.
So she came, and I'm like, okay, we had to go through some things to make it work, and we did. And then Mima's, Michelle and Donna, they're a mother-daughter team that is also from Evergreen Park.
They brought me, what did you guys bring me?
Irish soda bread.
I'm not sharing this with anybody. It looks good, too. The cookie
It's
looks
really
good. I forgot
good.
to say the cookie.
It's really
but this
good.
looks,
They're
I mean,
all
like,
good.
this looks really good. Man, can I
Made
put some
over
butter on this? I
50
put a
of
little
them
butter
in
on this so it tastes
And
good.
then
Yeah.
Kerrygold
Right?
butter
Yeah.
on there, and a little
All right.
toast.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So
Toast
first
it
of
up.
all, your vendors, I would assume are local nearby vendors,
It's
right?
all local artists.
Okay.
So we have from baked goods
Okay.
to a paint line by Rethunk Junk by Drab to Fab.
Okay.
And then we also, and she also offers paint parties that you can come in and bring a small piece of furniture, and you can paint the piece of furniture. You do like a
I've never,
rehab of it.
I've painted a lot of rooms in my house. I've never considered it to be a party.
Yeah.
Until I get to about the half a case of the Miller Lite that I'm drinking while I'm doing it.
Well,
it's
you
not
can
really
come bring a
party.
little bottle of wine with you while you paint your piece of furniture as well. We welcome that.
Let's introduce your vendors real quick because I want to make sure that we give them a chance, okay? So,
Great.
Mrs. Riley, can we move a microphone over near you? Tell me about this cookie. Where are you based out of, first of all?
I am based out of my home.
Okay, and your home is in
Evergreen Park.
Evergreen Park.
I'm another neighbor about a block away.
Yes, awesome.
And I started baking these for students as a reward about 12 years ago. And as it progressed, the students would ask if they could buy it with their own money. And I would say, no, that is not legal. And as the years went on, they said, we want to be able to...
No, I really like it. There's a lot of butter in this cookie. I like this cookie. As you package them, let me ask you. Like whenever you have cookies that people make and they sell in stores, do you have to do something extra to them so that they last in the store?
I can't tell my secrets.
Because otherwise, it would get stale after a couple days,
It's
right?
about the packaging, and I bake fresh every day.
So it's about the packaging, and you're still baking fresh
every day.
So it's not like you have some conveyor belt and this is
no.
These are baked in your oven.
Correct.
These are spectacular.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
So you
keep talking. I'm going to eat your cookie.
So my students encouraged me to do this, and when this shop, I had wanted to buy my own shop, but I didn't have the money and the backing to do it. And when Joni opened her shop, I was at Porter Cullens having lunch one day, and I saw the shop and said, I wonder if I could just bring them in and see if it's a possibility. And then we talked and we worked it out, and it was funny. The first day she said, why don't you bring in about 20, 25? And I said, well, I have a little bit of a following, so I might need a little bit more. And we sold many, many cookies to my students and their parents, and it's evolved into a very nice little business.
And what's great is the fact that then you have a business over here with the Browse and Brew that then has a storefront for you to put them in.
It's wonderful.
I love that. And I love that about Evergreen Park because the more I do this podcast, the more I find, there's always that phrase, keep the green and evergreen, but it's also the businesses all help each other. Like you have your coffee inside Porter Cullens. They use that here, and they also won an award, if I'm not mistaken, for their Irish coffee in a competition, and they competed with your coffee that you have in your store. Is that right?
They're here. Yeah, they're there tonight competing again. So hopefully they win again.
No wonder the owners aren't here. I was trying to figure out where they were all at. Okay, introduce your other vendors here real quick to me.
So this is Mima's. This is Michelle and Donna.
Michelle and Donna, mother-daughter team.
Yes.
You have the exact same smile.
And Ma.
Yeah. Me and Ma. And you went with Mima. That's good, because I just imagine it was like some tiny little old lady called Mima.
Yeah. And she is
You are not a tiny little old lady.
I am a Mima. I have 5 grandchildren.
My kids call her Mima.
Oh, really? Okay. So how is it working with your, first of all, are you from Evergreen or nearby?
We both are from Evergreen.
You're both from Evergreen?
Yes.
Just another
4 blocks
Evergreen business.
apart.
Okay.
Yes.
And how is it working with your daughter? Because whenever I watch one of these cooking shows with my kids, and it's a mother-daughter cupcake baking thing and like a cupcake wars or mother-daughter restaurant, all they do is yell at each other. How is it working with your... I'm not even going to ask you because you're going to be like, it's wonderful, and I want to ask her. How is it working with your mom? How's it working with your mom?
We have our days, but it's wonderful. It really is. I mean, we're super close as it is, and then this kind of made us closer, and we're not that far away in the neighborhood. I literally ran out of something today, and she ran it over to my house, and
that's awesome.
We help each other out. So
I want to ask you because we're running out of time here. How do they just get it over here at Browse and Brew? Or is there another way for them to get your stuff?
Most of our stuff is out of Murray's Browse and Brew. And then we just started with Unidad Restaurant in Evergreen Park as well.
Yes, Unidad. They are a proud sponsor of the EP podcast.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah. So,
you'll hear their commercials during the show if you haven't heard one already.
Yeah, so we do there, and then some orders, custom orders. If somebody wants something, we do it as well. So
awesome. Mima, I didn't even ask you to talk. I feel bad.
That's all right.
All right, you're okay? You're good?
I'm good, yeah.
I can't wait to have your soda bread.
She said, well,
I'm afraid if I open it up right now, though, I'm going to eat the whole thing.
We have probably made close to over 70 now in the last 2 weeks.
Wow, that's
So, yeah.
good. I need a new soda bread supplier because I used to have this old Irish lady who used to do it for me.
You just come to
And
Murray's
she stopped
and you
making
can
them.
have
Now
it.
I don't have a soda bread supplier.
No,
so
we've been making them
there you
ever
go.
since.
You're my new
Since
soda
day
bread
one.
supplier.
Now you got to come into Murray's and
Yep.
get some soda bread.
Yep.
And Mrs. Riley, are you just exclusively inside of the Browse and Brew or no?
No, I also sell at Pops on 104th and Kedzie and Swanson's Deli.
Is it weird for you to be called Mrs. Riley? Because like somebody might think that you're just like some little old lady that cooks cookies.
Actually,
and
I've
you're
heard
not?
that
Right.
from people I know that went to the shop and then found out later it was me, and they thought, oh, I just thought it was some little old lady.
No, you don't look like a little old lady at all.
Right.
Right.
But I had to keep the name because that's what my students used to say. Did you have a Mrs. Riley's cookie? So that's the only way that they would know that they were mine.
Joni, I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I'm going to make it a point to get in there from time to time.
We got other things.
My wife, she got me into the lattes with the whipped cream in them and the caramel, but then I put on 10 pounds. So I had to stop doing
skinnies.
it. Okay, all right. I need something that doesn't taste like coffee, but doesn't make me have a ginormous butt.
I never liked coffee until 2 years ago.
I got to fit in my jeans. That's the main thing. All right. Very, very good. Well, thank you, ladies, all of you, for joining me on the EP
Thank
podcast.
you. Thanks for having us.
And
you so much.
we will, I'm sure, talk again soon in the future. Thank you so much. And that, my friends, is our special early release on Parade Day EP podcast. We are here each and every Monday morning with a weekly 30-minute episode all about Evergreen Park. You never know who's going to stop by, sit in my basement at my 9-foot homemade oak bar, and join me. If you're new to the show, subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Stitcher Radio. We're everywhere. Google Play. Hey Alexa, play the EP podcast. And if you get a chance to, rate us and share us with your friends. If you're listening to this on Parade Day, have a great Parade Day. You might even see us out there. If you caught up after the parade, we hope you still enjoyed your last little bit of the big high holiday. I think spring is here. I'm feeling it. Back and forth with the weather, but it's coming. We're almost out of this. We'll see you next week on the EP Podcast, found everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the eppodcast.com. Bye-bye, everybody.
Stop, fellas.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
How are your ears?
They're good. They're good.
The EP Podcast. Heard everywhere podcasts can be found. And always at the eppodcast.com.